at a tournament versus, and I believe he got 13th and had a really hard time against Costas Moss, our resident Game & Watch. But in this matchup, I wonder how much experience he has. He's definitely going to have to show us what he's got, because this can be tough. It's a lot about being able to swing your sword at the right time, because if you mess up just once, you end up getting a really high damage combo.
Yeah, Sonic is not stingy on dealing out the damage.
Yeah.
Nice! Reverse shield breaker for the cross-up. I'm expecting big things from his spacing. No, very disappointing, guys.
That honestly could have been a kill if he would have pushed Sonic over to the end of the ledge.
But yes, and not only that, it's like if you're gonna miss the spacing, there were actually bigger damage things you could have done.
Yeah.
You know, falling up air could have landed into so many things. But I do like the way he's utilizing these B reversal shield breakers. Very good tool of Mart's, but he's gonna SD right there as the pressure just gets onto him from Sonic.
Honestly, there's so many different things that could be affecting an international player.
Right.
Time zones, it could be jet lag, all sorts of things. At the moment, Mocha really can play it safe.
He's trying to take his time.
Yeah, he's taking his time right now. He's just weaving in and out of Vexx's space, trying to get him to take an action before dedicating himself to an attack.
Now, I like that right there. Everything that both players did. Mocha realized that Marth was prepared for his approach, so he tried to jump over, but really great reaction time coming out there from Vexx, getting that cross-up dancing blade, or excuse me, rather, the turnaround dancing blade, and putting the pressure on. 71%, so he's definitely in KO percent against Marth. Marth is a power character in this game. You land a tip or anything at this percent, and is very likely to KO.
It's going to be difficult right now. I think Vexx is having a hard time landing back on the ground whenever Mocha ends up getting him up in that air. But his shield breakers have been on point, always hitting on shield.
I like the fact that even though shield breaker is ironically not safe on block, he's consistently done it in situations where he's falling off the stage, so his opponent will have a difficult time following up with a punish. So very, very creative, clever use there. Something I'll be notating. Hopefully the other marks will pick up on that.
Most definitely. Although Vexx just can't seem to get enough hits in. He's been getting one or two here. That would have been a great way to close out his stock, but he fast falls straight down into the blast zone.
It looked like he wanted to get a back air and then fastball onto the stage so he could transition into a down tilt to continue covering other options, or perhaps, obviously adapt to the way his opponent recovers. But a slight technical error on his spacing there is going to mean that's all she wrote for game one. And hopefully he'll be able to clear his head and bring it back for game two. Something like that can be incredibly tilting. I mean, two self-destructs. Not what you want to see going into a long set against Sonic.
It's definitely one of those cases, though, where you can say that the player's defeating themselves there. 2 SDs because of some mistakes that, you don't see that from top players, from number ones on PR. That's definitely something that shows that he's not quite ready mentally, whether it be because of, traveling or whatnot, to be able to face off a Genesis. I really hope that he'll be able to get to his peak condition before this weekend.
Well, he's got 2 days to clean himself up.
Yeah.
But right now, hopefully he can clean himself up for this game. He's got himself off to a great start with 28% off of bread and butter. I really like the patience there off that up air to make sure he gets that block in, gets the reset, gets the juggle. Nice mix-up with the homing attack from Sonic there. But big punish opportunities coming out. No punish, though. Marth had so many opportunities to just swing at anything.
Yeah. I really like, though, how Vexx has slowed it down. He's going in, getting his punishes, and then staying within that space where he's comfortable, where he can swing at an approach and still be able to shield if Mocha comes in with something he's not prepared for.
I like the way he's utilizing his shield, but I feel that he's not getting the proper punishes he should be looking for. Many times there's opportunities where he ended up falling for frame trap when he had potential up B situations, things of this nature. I want to really see him make sure he's capitalizing on all the time Sonic is hitting his shield. Nice
platforms are really helping him out. Oh, that up smash was extremely well placed, but Mocha was completely prepared for it. There goes that air dodge mix up. A lot of Sonics like to use with down air. Jab 1, being able to pop up your opponent. This is a lot closer of a game than we saw in that last.
For sure. Now, I see Marth putting on a lot of pressure. Tipper back air is going to send Sonic spiraling, but not quite to the death line. I like the way he stood on the edge to sort of kind of think that he might go for the trump, but I think he could have done maybe a little bit better job with his spacing after his feint didn't really work out.
I think that is probably a conditioning thing that he's going for right now.
Yeah.
Here's some big damage. Good jump out right there.
Making
Sonic.
sure he's not getting caught by that up air. That could have been the stock.
Yeah. Very
Sonic
good
making it a
mix-up
little
to
too
get back.
obvious he's looking for that back air.
Yeah.
I'm actually a little
Back
surprised
throw?
that Mark didn't just take advantage of that by going for a counter or something of this nature. Good evasion on that spring there. That could have been an easy gimp.
Another back throw there, and that should
That's going to
be
be
the kill.
it. Yeah. Overzealous side B from Marth onto block means that's going to be the end of that stock. And now Sonic, one stock away from taking it over over Vexx.
And this is one of those spots where Mocha really shines. He's very good at coming in with very clean bread and butters and not making too many offensive mistakes. He keeps his defensive space perfectly aligned. I really think at this point it's going to be hard for Vexx to get back unless he gets the kill very, very soon.
All right, so I've seen him go into grab release into a jab many, many times now. It looks like he's very unconfident in any of his throw setups, so he just takes the maximum number of pummels and then tries to get a jab. This time he finally does go for the trump, but his timing is a little familiar, so to speak.
Yeah.
It seems very obvious when he's actually just going for the fake, hey, I am going to go for the trump, or I'm not. Like, he dashes back too far. He doesn't really cover the options that he would anticipate his opponent doing if he doesn't get a trump. So,
also, I think at this point, Mocha is just aware that that is a very, very good kill option for him, so he's going to be buffering his attacks. Goes for the up throw, and it kills 75% to 0. Vexx definitely still has a chance here. He just has to play a little bit better on defense, not taking as much damage. He's been good at playing a solid pace like we saw in that first stock early in this game.
I see a very familiar script here. We do have one of the players at a much higher percent than the other one with only 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock. Now we're going to see Marth having to play very aggressively into Sonic right now because he's down by nearly 70%.
And that's a really tough place for Marth to be. Trying to play aggressively into Sonic means you have to know what your opponent's going to do before they do it, or at least cover a lot of options. But that forward smash takes it, and Mocha takes the set 2-0 over Vexx.
Yeah, good punish there coming out with the forward smash. I like the way he adjusted his spacing to really make sure that he was immune to any offensive maneuvers such as the down air. He knew his opponent was hungry to finally land that hit because he knew the pressure was on his opponent, that he would have to come in and have to make offensive motions towards him, so he managed to get himself in there and then get himself out of there, landing that forward smash to knock his opponent out of there. Good games to both players, and it's going to be Mocha up 2-0 over Vexx.
We have a treat up next. The #1 player in Japan, Renai, best villager in the world, hands down.
Renai villager is disgusting.
It's Renai. Apparently, Renai has Italian name. You have to roll that R. No, it's going to be really, really great to see because I've only seen him play in Japan. Everyone has only seen this man play in Japan. And he has had some extremely dominating sets. He's been beaten by some players who were, that skill range is not very wide in Japan. Everyone is off by this much. Like, he lost to Earth about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Earth is very strong.
Yeah, he's
very strong.
They have these very small margins between their skill levels, but Renai seems to just be one step ahead of everyone, continuously showing that he's terrifying. He's terrifying.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is Renai's first American tournament.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm very, very interested to see how he performs here in the West.
I think that this is a very important tournament for the Japanese to come to, because if you can come to America and have a tournament to play before the big major that's as large as this one is, 100 and something people here, a lot of NorCal is here, a lot of different styles. You get a feel for the American style of play, that it's a good way to adjust a little bit and get a little bit of a taste of what this weekend's going to be like.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't study it, the Japanese style of play is a little bit more methodical, a lot more mathematical, and the players are very refined in a different style of way, where the American style is a lot more artistic compared to what the Japanese do. We have a lot of rebase, a lot of mind game based gameplay, where it's very, very dependent on, okay, well, what do I think you're going to do? Where the Japanese style is a little bit more, what's the best thing to do in this situation? So there's a big, big clash of styles between the East and the West. You're going to see what I mean in the match coming up here.
Yeah. Renai is good at, putting on pressure, and all the general villager tech he has down just great. But his style is so much more about, I can be on offense and defense at any point in time. And they're both the perfect option. gets it down to, like you said, a very methodical way of playing the character to where you're not really sure what this character can do until you see Renai do it.
Right.
That's what's so scary, is when you're playing against someone who innovates the character, who basically makes the character, you really don't know the character yet. And
Exactly.
so Q is going to be going against him. He does play Pac-Man mainly. Of course, Renai has a lot of Pac-Man experience. So
Shout out to Abadonga.
yeah. Abadonga